Hi, this is John from NYC Geek Society, and today I'd like to talk about some Metal Gear news. So on March 3rd, IGN posted an article where they had interviewed the cast of Netflix's new movie Triple Frontier, and they asked the cast if they would ever be in a video game movie. And Oscar Isaac, who is one of the actors in the cast, said that he would love to be in a Metal Gear movie. And Max asked him, who would you play? And he said, Snake, of course. And so that is pretty interesting because Oscar Isaac, in my opinion, is a great actor. He's played some pretty heady roles before, like Annihilation was a movie he was in last year. And before that, he was in Ex Machina. So I think he could play something, that is kind of philosophical and kind of thought-provoking, such as Metal Gear might be. Now, if you don't know anything about the current state of the Metal Gear movie, a couple of years ago, it was announced that Jordan Vogt-Roberts was seeking to direct the movie. And he is mostly known for Kong Skull Island. He has some other roles, other credits as well, but that's the one I'd say he's the most known for. Now, he's very passionate about this project, so much so that he kind of even became friends with Hideo Kojima. And last year, he was talking about a script that was written by Derek Connolly, who also wrote Kong Skull Island. Now, Jordan Vogt-Roberts was very excited about this script. According to a Collider interview, he said, "Even if I wasn't involved in this movie, I would read that script and say, holy shit. It represents a different approach to a video game movie. It represents a different approach to how a 3-act structure is put on screen." Now, what has always excited me about Jordan Vogt-Roberts talking about the Metal Gear movie is he really seems to get what Metal Gear is about. In the same Collider interview, he said, "The thing about Metal Gear is it's intentionally sprawling and it's intentionally dense. It'd be super easy to do one sliver of it or do too much at once. And we spent the last little bit really trying to figure out, to me, the most Kojima-san inspired way to tackle as much of that story through a device that I think allows you to tap in. How to put this without spoiling it. Regardless, we have a device that I think allows us to respect the breadth of the franchise, respect the sprawling nature of the franchise, respect the somewhat convoluted nature of the franchise at times, but to still show you the mirrors. What I mean by that is all those timelines fundamentally exist because they show the repetition of war throughout time. They show the repetition and the cycle of pain throughout time. So it's almost impossible to tell just one story. You need the full through line of what this game is about." So I think Jordan Vogt-Roberts understands what a Metal Gear Solid movie would need to be. What is good news, though, is that Jordan Vogt-Roberts tweeted the same day that interview came out with IGN, to everyone asking how I feel about Oscar Isaac saying he wants to be Solid Snake, the full process required to cast an icon hasn't even started. But ask Boss Logic where the idea for his brilliant mock-up came from. The ball's in Oscar's court. So last year, someone who goes by the handle Boss Logic released a rendition of Oscar Isaac as Solid Snake. And it turns out now, based on what Jordan Vogt-Roberts tweeted, that idea came from Jordan himself. So it looks like Jordan is also interested in Isaac. So the problem I have with all of this is exactly what Jordan tweeted, that the full process required to cast an icon hasn't even started yet. That this movie, all we know about it is that It's being produced by Sony. It has Jordan Vogt-Roberts attached to direct. There's a script out that they've submitted to Sony, and Oscar Isaac announced that he'd be interested in the role. But there's this movie's not even in pre-production. There's not even an approved script by Sony. And so, although I really want to get excited about all this, it's very difficult for me to, because I don't know if this movie's ever going to be made. I feel like that they've been talking about this movie, Metal Gear being adapted into movie, I believe since 2006. So over a decade now. And even if it was greenlit and everything went through, I don't know how you adapt Metal Gear into a movie. But something tells me that if anyone could do it, based on what Jordan Vogt-Roberts has said, I think maybe he could, because he seems to understand what Metal Gear is about. And he seems to have the approval of Kojima. But what do you guys think? Do you think this movie's ever getting made? Do you think that if it does get made, would you want Oscar Isaac to be Snake? Do you think he would do a good job? Let me know what you think. As always, like, share, subscribe. Tell your mom, tell your dad, tell Jordan Vogt-Roberts to freaking get this movie made. And NYC, geek out.